This woman was found snooping around my underground vault. When she was captured, look what we found on her. The Philosopher's Legacy. This microfilm contains all the information regarding the legacy. You might say that this film itself is the Philosopher's Legacy.
It was the smell that gave her away. No, not the perfume. It was gasoline. Motorcycle gasoline. She reeked of it.
To think that lovely Tatiana was a spy. We found this radio along with her too. Such a fine woman she was. It almost pains me to have to kill her. Yes, she was an obedient one. She was my precious little pet. Ah! Isn't that right?
Bastard.
What was that? Do you have something to say to me?
Go to hell.
You dirty whore. I've had enough kisses from you. I should have known. Sokolov wasn't man enough to have a lover like that. Just like the KGB to send something so beautiful, yet so deadly.
What is the Philosopher's Legacy?
Very well. I'll explain it before I kill you. During the last Great War, the most powerful men in America, China, and the Soviet Union had a secret pact. The pact was a blueprint for defeating the Axis powers and creating a new world order. To secure victory in the war, the three countries pooled their resources to conduct the most covert types of operations and research. The atomic bomb, rocket technology, the Cobra unit. And they amassed an enormous sum of money to fund these projects, enough to fight the war 5 times over. That wealth is the Philosopher's Legacy. After the war was won, the three countries were to divide the Philosopher's Legacy amongst themselves. This explains why the United States and the Soviet Union were able to steal away the best scientific minds in Germany as soon as the war ended. But our great motherland has far surpassed its pathetic rivals. We possess enormous wealth, the most advanced technology, and overwhelming power, assets fitting of our great country. My father was one of the men in charge of managing the Philosopher's Legacy. In the confusion that ensued after the war ended, he devised a series of ingenious plots to ensure that the Soviet Union would have total control over the legacy. The money was divided up and laundered through banks all over the world. Switzerland, Australia, and Hong Kong. This microfilm contains a record of all those transactions. After my father's death, I learned of this secret and obtained the microfilm. With this money and the support of Brezhnev and his allies, I built this fortress of Groznygrad and Granin's research facility. But that worthless fool Granin failed to produce results I was forced to turn to Khrushchev's dog Sokolov and his invention, the Shagohod. My position in GRU made it too troublesome to attack Sokolov's facility directly. But the spy network established by the secret pact still existed. I used it to contact the boss and suggested that she defect. The boss was conniving enough to see things my way. The world was once one, but the conflict between the philosophers has torn it in two. We will use the legacy to heal that rift and make the world whole again. To do this, we need strength, an unstoppable trump card with enough power to bring order to the world. That trump card was to be the Shagohod and the Cobra unit. I have lost the Cobras, but I still have the Shagohod and the legacy. There is nothing America can do to stop us. Boss, take this someplace safe. Take good care of it.
He wouldn't have come waltzing back in here unless he had a reason. The C3's been stolen. He must be planning some sort of sabotage. I'll go see if there are any surprises waiting for us. I'll dispose of her as well. Leave everything to me. Fight like a warrior, Volgan.
But of course.
Let me face him. I've been waiting for this moment. Time to get even! No more judo, and no more field strips.
Enough of this. He's mine. You will stand right there and watch. Got it?
Please, Colonel, let me—
Silence! Huh? Sorry for the delay. Let's get started, shall we? This is a once-in-a-lifetime battle. Let's make it a good one.
It's just you and me now. And I'm gonna enjoy this.
Snake!
You're mine, son of the boss!
Snake, watch out for Volgin's electric shock attacks. If you're shocked while equipping a gun, the bullets inside the magazine will ignite and the gun will explode. But he should be vulnerable just after launching a series of shock attacks. Avoid the attacks and either shoot him from his blind side or engage him directly with punches or CQC. And don't forget that the timer is still ticking on the C3 detonators. When it reaches 0, it's all over. You've got to finish him off before then. Snake, don't forget that the timer is still ticking on the C3 detonators. You must defeat Volgin and escape from the hangar before that count reaches 0. Get to it! Snake, don't concern yourself with Ocelot up there. Concentrate on defeating Volgin. Snake, watch out for Volgin's electric shock attacks. If you're shocked, what...
When Volgin is discharging electricity from his body, you'll get electrocuted just by touching him, so you can't grab him with CQC. When Volgin isn't discharging electricity, however, that's your chance to use CQC. Attack Volgin whenever you see an opening. Snake, what if you put on that mask? You might just be able to shake Volgin up.
Shake him up. Why?
Never mind, just do it. Snake, what if you put on that mask? When Volgin is discharging electricity... Snake, you run a higher...
Volgin seems to be deflecting bullets away by wrapping a powerful electromagnetic field around his body. You won't hit him if you fire at him from the front. If you're going to attack him with a gun, do it from the side or the back. Watch out for Volgin's electric shock attacks. If he shocks you when you've got a gun equipped, the ammo in the magazine's gonna ignite and the gun will explode. Either fight without a gun equipped, or quickly press the weapon window button to unequip your weapon when you're about to get zapped. After Volgin unleashes his electric shock attack, you'll have a split-second opening. Use it to attack him. Volgin uses a technique where he holds a rifle bullet between his fingers and punches his opponent while simultaneously causing the bullet to explode with an electric shock. It's a punch, an electric shock, and a rifle shot all rolled up into one. You've seen the damage it can do. It'll tear you apart if it connects. Dodge and weave, Snake. Volgin can use an electric shock to detonate the gunpowder inside an ammunition cartridge. In other words, he can fire a bullet with his bare hands. If he starts to ignite bullets in your direction, take cover. You'll get nailed if you just stand there. Snake, try using a chaff grenade. The metal foil it scatters into the air should dissipate electric shocks and make them less painful. Volgin seems to be deflecting bullets away.
Ocelot! Whose side are you on? Get him! Shoot him! Do you hear me? I said shoot him!
Sorry, Colonel. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What do you mean you can't?
I made a promise to the boss.
Silence! I am your commanding officer. Are you questioning my authority?
Fight like a man, Volgin.
Volgin?
Emergency. Explosives have been detected. All non-EOD personnel must evacuate immediately.
Ocelot! Find those bombs!
Repeat. Explosives have been detected. All non-EOD personnel must evacuate immediately.
Move it!
Huh.
Ready for some more, Snake? Time to die!
All personnel evacuate. Repeat, all personnel evacuate.
Faster! This way! Everybody run! It's gonna blow! I'm out of here! Let's get out of here, quick! Hurry! We're all gonna die! Hurry up! Evacuate!
Hop in.
Step on it!
Don't give up! Get moving!
Eva, how did you?
The boss let me go.
The boss? But why?
I'll tell you later. Right now, we've got to get to the lake and escape.
We can't leave yet. I've still got one last job to do.
The boss is already at the lake.
Huh?
She's at the lake. She's waiting for you there.
Waiting for me?
I was hoping I wouldn't have to tell you. I don't want you to fight her. But I've come to realize that there's a special relationship between you two. Something I can't understand, something that goes beyond a man and a woman. I envy you. Really, I do. But I guess I just can't understand it. She asked me to tell you something. I've never seen someone with such clear eyes. There. I said it. Ready to go?
Yeah.
We failed!
Not good.
Hold on tight!
Major.
Snake, are you all right?
Yeah.
The explosion went off successfully.
Yeah, but the hangar is still standing.
The explosion was smaller than what we had hoped for because the fuel tanks didn't catch on fire.
But the fuel tanks were definitely...
Remember how the enemy spotted the C3 while you were busy with Vulcan? They must have called in the EOD to remove the fuel from the tanks then. But still, the C3 alone should have been enough to take out the manufacturing line. That'll probably be the last one they'll ever make. You succeeded in preventing its mass production.
Snake, if you can take out the Shagohod that Volgin's in, the world will be safe from that monstrosity of a weapon. But you won't be able to take it down with the weapons you have on you. You have to come up with something else. It's time to rethink your plan of attack. First, get out of there. You need to shake your pursuers. Snake, leave the driving to Eva. You concentrate on fending off your pursuers and clearing the way for her. Don't worry about running out of ammunition. The sidecar seems to be loaded with plenty of it. Use first-person view to eliminate your attackers. The enemy will be coming at you from all sides, front and back, left and right. Use first-person view to take them out. Listen closely to what Eva tells you. Snake, your ultimate objective is to escape. There's no need to defeat every last enemy. Rather than attacking the enemies you've put behind you, focus on dispatching the ones that are blocking the way in front of you.
Snake, the enemy is hot in pursuit. If they catch up to you, you're dead. You've got to get away from them. While you're riding in the sidecar, lying down won't cause your life to recover gradually like usual. If you need to restore life, use the life medicine. Snake, the enemy is hot in pursuit. If they catch up to you, you're dead. You've got to get away from them.
Snake, leave the driving to Eva and focus on attacking. Use first-person view to pick off the enemies around you. Snake, leave the driving to Eva and focus on attacking. Use first-person view to pick off the enemies around you.
On the other side of the runway. We'll have to cut through the middle of the base. You ready?
Step on it. If he catches up to us, we're done for.
Okay, here we go! only got one chance. We'll lure him over towards the other side. When the Shagohod is on the bridge, shoot the explosives. The bomb is planted on the strut of the bridge. Let's go! I planted 2 C3 charges. Keep your aim steady. Farther down! More to the left! Down! Shoot! Only one more left. The Shagohod's not here yet. Let it come closer. It's here! We did it!
It's over.
Look!
I'm not finished yet!
Eva, you take care of the driving.
Yeah?
Yeah, I trust you. On one condition, though, leave the fighting to me.
You got it. I was getting tired of running away anyway.
Eva, let's do it.
For luck.
Here goes.
Snake, the rear frame of the Shagohod was destroyed when the bridge collapsed. The backside of the front frame is now exposed. Even the Shagohod is bound to have less armor plating on its backside. I'm sure you can penetrate it with the RPG-7. Attack the Shagohod from behind with the RPG-7. The area around the Shagohod's underbody seems to have sustained heavy damage as well. By hitting its base with the RPG-7 or a grenade, you can force it to change direction. That will surely make it easier to get behind it. Aim for the base. The area around the Shagohod's underbody seems to have sustained heavy damage as well. By hitting its base with the RPG-7 or a grenade, you can force it to change direction. That will surely make it easier to get behind it. Aim for the base. Snake, the rear frame of the Shagohod was destroyed when the bridge collapsed.
The Shagohod's weapons are deadly. You're likely to get seriously hurt if you get caught in its sights. If you get injured, go into the survival view and take care of it immediately. Snake, pay attention to Eva's life gauge. Make sure you don't attack her by mistake. Snake, pay attention to...
The machine gun on that thing is deadly, but you can force him to break off his attack by firing the RPG-7 at the body of the Shagohod. If he starts strafing you with the machine gun, pump a rocket into the Shagohod before you get turned into Swiss cheese. The armor on that thing is rock solid, but you can compromise it if you hit it with a rocket to the inside. Every time he uses the heavy machine gun, the armor cover opens up. Aim for that opening.
Ah!
gonna lure it back here.
You're gonna use yourself as bait? Are you insane?
I'm used to this guy. I know how to handle him. Come on, you blockhead!
Snake, it looks like Volgin is using his own electricity to power the Shagohod now. Attacking the Shagohod itself at this point will have little effect. You need to aim for Volgin himself. If you attack Volgin from the front, he'll simply deflect the bullet with his electromagnetic field. Target him from the back and sides. You should be able to slow the Shagohod's movement by attacking its base. Aim for the base and immobilize it. There's a gun emplacement and an anti-aircraft cannon over there. They should deal a fair bit of damage to him as well, but stay there too long and you make yourself an easy target. If the Shagohod draws too close, get away from the emplacement immediately. Snake, pay attention to Eva's life as well. If she dies, you won't be able to complete your mission. Don't let Eva get caught in the crossfire by mistake, or there'll be hell to pay. There's a gun emplacement and a...
The Shagohod's weapons are deadly. You're likely to get seriously hurt if you get caught in its sights. If you get injured, go into the survival viewer and take care of it immediately.
Don't try to shoot at Volgin from the front. He'll just deflect it with that electromagnetic field of his. Get around behind or to the side of the Shagohod and shoot at Volgin from there. The Shagohod's missiles are radio guided. You can disable the guidance system with a chaff grenade. Try it out. If it's too late to use chaff, shoot it down with your gun. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but if anyone can do it, you can.
Snake! Who's afraid of a little thunder?
It's finally over.
No time for this now. The escape craft is just up ahead. Let's get going. Take him out!
There they are! Don't let them get away!
finally gave up.
Don't start celebrating yet. We're leaking fuel.
Damn it. Tank shot up. Crap. Eva!
I'm over here. Snake. How's it look?
Pretty bad.
Not a sensitive bone in your body.
Eva,
What about you, Snake?
I'm fine.
That's good to hear.
We have to get away from here, Eva. Let's go.
Leave me.
Eva!
The boss is waiting for you. You have to go. Give me a gun.
No, we're getting out of here.
We're still far away from the lake. I'll never make it.
I can't believe this.
Uh-huh.
I never thought I'd see you act this weak.
What do you mean?
Listen to me, Eva. We're doing this together.
No, you...
Eva, I need you.
Say that one more time.
I need you. I can't fly the wig by myself.
All right, then. I guess I'd better help you out. You're lucky to have me.
Snake, can you hear me?
Paramedic, thank God. Eva's been seriously hurt.
So have you.
Luckily, I think her organs are all intact, but...
Calm down, Snake.
Calm down.
You'll both be fine as long as you get the proper emergency treatment. But you're the only one who can do this. Understand? So you've got to calm down.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Now let's open up the survival viewer and treat the injury. Do you have supplies with you?
I'm running kind of short.
Then by switching the survival viewer over to Eva, you can treat her wounds too. Now get to work. Oh, and Snake, I'm pretty sure you know this already, but if you don't have enough supplies for the both of you, your wounds come first.
Huh?
Do you get my meaning, Snake? You've still got a mission to complete.
Yeah. I know what I have to do.
Snake?
Like this. Can you walk?
Yeah, I think so.
Here. It's different from the Mauser. When you're using a two-hand grip, you have to be careful where you put your hands or your fingers will get burned by the exhaust gas from the cylinder gap.
Snake, are you all right?
I've been better.
What about Eva?
I healed her up. She can manage.
Good.
Snake, you'll take the lead and break through the enemy's line of defense. Eva will ordinarily be following behind you. If you lie on your belly, she'll lie down as well. If you slip and fall off a cliff, she'll follow right behind. You can call out to Eva by pressing the action button. Head to the lake along with Eva. Snake, stay on your toes. The enemy hasn't given up coming after you yet. They should be there any minute now. If you go southeast from there, you'll come to a road leading to the lake. Take Eva with you and head southeast. Snake, what do you think you're doing? The enemy search party will be there any minute. Head to the southeast quickly. Snake, what do you think you're doing? Snake.
You can treat Eva's wounds by selecting Eva from the cure screen in the survival viewer. If she gets injured, see to her right away. Got it? Snake, don't forget about Eva's stamina. She'll collapse from exhaustion if she runs out. If Eva's stamina starts to run low, go into the survival viewer and give her something to eat. To give her some food to eat, select a food item from Food and press the Enter button. Then select Eva. But don't give her anything rotten or poisonous. You and Eva are both exhausted. You need to take it easy. If you find a good place to hide, like tree hollows or bushes, lie low and let your life recover. Got it? I see it started to rain. You burn through stamina a lot faster when it's raining. It'll also reduce your visual range and make it more difficult to sense where the enemy is. Be careful. Snake, your escape is going to be a test of endurance. If you find edible plants or animals, be sure to catch enough for Eva to eat too. Snake, the lake is just up ahead. You can make it. I see it started to rain. You burn through stamina a lot faster when it's raining.
Snake, you're almost to the lake. You can make it, man. Snake, you and Eva are both in real bad shape. I wouldn't be thinking about taking the enemy on in an all-out fight if I were you. It's time to start laying some traps. Set up a trap the right way and you can stop the enemy in his tracks. And that'll buy you some time. Use TNT and claymores to give them a hard time. You don't have to beat all the guys that are after you. The only thing you need to worry about is getting away in one piece. Smoke grenades and stun grenades might not cause any damage, but they're pretty good at slowing people down. Snake, you're almost to the lake. You can make it, man.
Snake, you want to save, don't you? Come back alive, okay?
Naturally.
This tastes like crap.
Somebody there.
Watch out. Got company.
The enemy! What's wrong?
Snake, the lake is just over that cliff. Eva should be able to climb it if you help her. Keep her close to you. Snake, the lake is in the northeast of that area. You're almost there. Head to the northeast and don't forget Eva. Snake, if the enemy catches up to you, stop where you are and fight them off. However, there's no need to defeat them all. As soon as you've beaten them back, continue on toward the lake. Snake, the boss is waiting for you at the lake.
I know.
That's all I can tell you. Finish the mission, Snake.
Yeah.
If you find a hollow tree or clump of bushes, you can...
Snake, the lake is just up ahead. You can make it. Snake, the lake is just... Snake, don't forget about Eva's stamina.
Snake, you and Eva are both in real bad shape. Snake, you're almost to the lake. You can make it, man.
The enemy is close by. Definitely hear something.
What did you give me? Can I have seconds?
It's just my imagination. Just my imagination.
Come on, Snake. We made it.
We made it.
Over there. It's the boss, isn't it? I'll go get the wig ready to take off.
Right.
I'll leave you two alone. But come back in one piece, okay? Promise me!
Life's end. Isn't it beautiful? It's almost tragic. When life ends, it gives off a final lingering aroma. Light is but a farewell gift from the darkness to those on their way to die. I've been waiting, Snake, for a long time. Waiting for your birth, your growth, and the finality of today.
Boss, why are you doing this?
Why? To make the world one again. The world used to be whole. But with the end of the Second World War, the philosophers began to fight amongst themselves, and the world was torn apart. The Cobras, my comrades who trained and fought alongside me, were torn apart as well. The foibles of politics and the march of time can turn friends into enemies just as easily as the wind changes. Ridiculous, isn't it? Yesterday's ally becomes today's opposition. And this Cold War? Think back. When I was leading the Cobras, America and Russia were fighting together. Now, consider whether America and Russia will still be enemies in the 21st century. Somehow I doubt it. Enemies change along with the times, the flow of the ages, and we soldiers are forced to play along. I didn't raise you and shape you into the man you are today just so we could face each other in battle. A soldier's skills aren't meant to be used to hurt friends. So then what is an enemy? Is there such a thing as an absolute timeless enemy? There is no such thing, and never has been. And the reason is that our enemies are human beings like us. They can only be our enemies in relative terms. The world must be made whole again. The philosophers must be reunited. I will devote my skills to that purpose. And with the Colonel's money, I will achieve that end. Just as I once created the Cobras. They are my family. I may no longer be able to bear children, but I still have a family. It was November 1st, 1951. I was in the Nevada desert participating in atomic testing. The name Nevada is derived from Spanish, covered in snow, white as snow. And snow is exactly what I saw in that Nevada desert. It froze my blood white. Snake, you were an atomic test subject, weren't you? On Bikini Atoll. That's part of the reason I was drawn to you. You and I are alike. We're both slowly being eaten away by the karma of others. We'll never have the chance to die peacefully of old age. We have no tomorrow. But we can still have hope for the future. In 1960, I saw a vision of the ideal future from space. 3 years earlier, the Soviet Union had succeeded in launching Sputnik, the first man-made satellite in history, into orbit. This came as a huge shock to the United States. In response, America threw everything it had into its own manned spaceflight project, the Mercury program. Even as the Soviets seemed poised to send their first man into space, America was still experimenting with chimpanzees and rockets. The government wanted human data. So they secretly decided to send a human being into space. I was the one they chose. At the time, they didn't have the technology to block out cosmic rays, and whoever they sent up would inevitably be exposed to heavy radiation. That's why they chose me. After all, I'd already been irradiated once. Of course, you won't find any of this in the history books. I could see the planet as it appeared from space. That's when it finally hit me. Space exploration is nothing but another game in the power struggle between the US and the USSR. Politics, economics, the arms race, they're all just arenas for meaningless competition. I'm sure you can see that, but the Earth itself has no boundaries. No East, no West, no Cold War. And the irony of it is, the United States and the Soviet Union are spending billions on their space programs and the missile race, only to arrive at the same conclusion. In the 21st century, everyone will be able to see that we are all just inhabitants of a little celestial body called Earth. A world without communism or capitalism, that is the world I wanted to see. But reality continued to betray me. In 1961, I was sent to Cuba, to Bahia de Cochinos. It was part of a CIA-sponsored invasion under the guise of taking Cuban exiles back to their country. But the US government betrayed them. Our weak-kneed president held back their air support. Defenseless, the exiles were annihilated by the Cuban army. All I could do was watch in silence. I was set up by the very country I'd sacrificed so much for, by the very government I dedicated my life to defending. I was driven from the surface world, and I went underground. Then, 2 years ago, I faced the sorrow, my old comrade in battle. He was my friend. But one of us had to die. I was left with no choice. The sorrow gave his life for me. There is no enmity between us. One must live, and one must die. That was the mission. The ones who gave me that mission were the philosophers. Early in the 20th century, the true holders of power in the United States, the Republic of China, and the newly formed Soviet Union gathered together in a secret meeting that would later be known as the Wise Men's Committee. The secret pact they formed there marked the beginning of the philosophers. But the last of the original members died in the 1930s. After that, the organization began to run out of control, and the Wise Men's Committee degenerated into a mere shell of its former self. The philosophers of today have no sense of good or evil. Their influence extends to countries and organizations involved in every aspect of every war. They have become war itself. That's how they operate. The sacrifices of war cause a shift in the times. This shift leads to renewed conflict, and in turn triggers the next war. Like a nuclear chain reaction, each conflict sparks countless others, forming an endless spiral that will continue on for eternity. Do you understand what I'm saying, Snake? By consuming me and you, the philosophers intend to keep that cycle going forever. It was my father who explained all of this to me. He was one of them. You see, I am the last remaining child of the philosophers. But after he revealed the truth, my father was killed by that same shapeless, formless organization. And my father isn't the only thing the philosophers have taken from me. In June of 1944, the Cobras and I took part in the landing at Normandy. We'd been given a top-secret mission to locate and destroy enemy V-2 rocket installations. I was pregnant at the time. The sorrow was the father. I gave birth on the field of battle. A beautiful baby boy. But my child was snatched away from me by the philosophers. Look at this scar. This is proof that I was once a mother. I gave up my body and my child for my country. There is nothing left inside me now. Nothing at all. No hatred, not even regret. And yet sometimes at night, I can still feel the pain creeping up inside me, slithering through my body like a snake. I've never talked this much about myself before. Thanks. Thanks for listening to me. I feel content. Snake, commence the operation. I raised you. I loved you. I've given you weapons, taught you techniques, endowed you with knowledge. There is nothing more for me to give you. All that's left for you to take is my life, by your own hand. One must die, and one must live. No victory, no defeat. The survivor will carry on the fight. It is our destiny. The one who survives will inherit the title of boss. And the one who inherits the title of boss will face an existence of endless battle. I'll give you 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, MiGs will come and bomb the hell out of this place. If you can beat me in less than 10 minutes, you'll be able to escape in time. Let's make this the greatest 10 minutes of our lives, Jack.
Boss.
You're a soldier. Finish your mission. Prove your loyalty. Face me. Let's see what you're made of.
Snake, it's time to complete your final mission. This is where you fulfill your loyalty to your country, and perhaps to her as well. You must defeat the boss. The firepower of that Patriot pistol the boss is using is beyond compare. In a straight shootout, you'd lose every time. Your first concern should be to hide yourself while using camouflage. Maneuver towards the boss's blind side, wait for an opening, and attack her with a gun or CQC. Watch out for the boss's Patriot pistol. Any attack you make is going to be futile in the face of such overwhelming firepower. Attack her from the back or side. Use your camouflage to sneak into her blind spot. You can also crawl through the flowers in intrusion view. Use this technique to maneuver discreetly into the boss's blind spot. In first-person view, you can press the left and right step buttons simultaneously to prop yourself up. That way, you can keep track of the boss's position as you move. The motion detector and active sonar will also prove useful. Sneak behind the boss so that she remains unaware of your position. In a proximity encounter, the boss will obviously try to use CQC on you. By pressing the CQC button at the very moment the boss launches a CQC strike, you can parry the attack. If you're successful, you can maneuver around to her side. That's your chance to use CQC on her. But if you fail, not only will she throw you, but she'll disassemble your weapon as well. Watch the boss's movements carefully. Timing is everything. The boss has ordered MiGs to launch an airstrike. If you don't finish the battle within 10 minutes, you'll both be blown to bits. You must defeat the boss before the MiGs get there. The firepower of that Patriot pistol the boss is using is beyond compare.
Snake, it's all over if you lose sight of the boss. Don't let those falling flower petals confuse you. The boss is human just like you and me. If she gets distracted, she's sure to leave herself open to attack. Try throwing a magazine or a captured animal and see what happens. Snake, it's all over if you lose sight of the boss. The boss is human just like you and me.
That gun the boss is using is a one-of-a-kind sidearm she had made especially for her. They call it the Patriot. Basically, they took the Army's experimental XM16E1, cut the barrel short, and took off the stock. It handles like a handgun, but it's got the stopping power of a rifle. Because the barrel is cut so short, it's got some nasty recoil, though. I can't believe she's using it with one hand. Now I see why she's the leader of the Cobras and a legendary hero. As long as the boss is firing that Patriot at you, frontal attacks are gonna be useless. Get around to her back or side and attack her from there. Move! If the boss gets you with a CQC attack, there's a chance she'll disassemble whatever weapon you've got equipped at the time. The disassembled weapon will turn into item boxes and scatter around the area. Try and recover them right away. One tactic you might want to try is blinding her with a stun grenade or a smoke grenade. While she's lost sight of you, move around to her side or back and attack her. Snake, move through the flower field so the boss can't see you, and try to get behind her. Use the active sonar or the motion detector to figure out her position, but keep an eye on the batteries. So the boss called in the MiGs. The MiGs the boss called in are probably MiG-21s, a Soviet frontline fighter. They can be equipped with rocket pods and bombs for air-to-ground attacks. If the MiGs dump napalm on you, you can kiss your ass goodbye. You gotta beat the boss before that happens. As long as the boss is firing that Patriot at you, frontal attacks are gonna be useless. One tactic you might want to try is blinding her with a stun grenade or a smoke grenade.
All these weapons have nothing to show for it. Excellent, Jack. There he is. There you are. Here I come. You're better than I remember. Get ready! Here I come! Let's see what you're made of. Your skills have improved. Here I come. Take this. Keep it safe. It's our only hope.
A patriot? Why are you giving me this?
Jack. Or should I say, Snake? You're a wonderful man. Kill me. Kill me now. Do it. There's only room for one boss and one snake.
Ready to go, Snake? Are you okay? Snake?
Yeah.
I told you you could trust me.
Ocelot! We're not done yet!
Too heavy!
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Not good!
I picked up a few new moves. Huh. It doesn't feel right to shoot an unarmed man. But I'll get over it.
Eva!
What do you say to one last showdown?
Yeah, all right.
What's your name?
Snake.
No. Not that name. You're not a snake, and I'm not an ocelot. We're men with names. My name is Adamska. What's yours?
John.
Very well, John. Plain name. But I won't forget it. Come on! It's a blank. Oh, that was fun. Till we meet again, John.
We made it.
Yeah, we sure did.
Oh no, Migs! There's no way out! What are we gonna do?
We've come too far to let them stop us now. Those things have got to be armed.
It's no use. There's no way we can outmaneuver them. They're gonna shoot us down. We were so close.
Weapon systems on.
Locked on target. I got towed.
You were great, Eva.
Huh?
Thanks.
Bulk 19, this is Control. Stand by for a direct order from the chairman. Bulk 19, return to base immediately. Do you read me? This is a direct order from Comrade Khrushchev. Return to base immediately. Bulk 19, do you copy? Understood. Aborting mission. RTB.
Look! The MiGs are turning back! Woo!
Well done, Snake.
The MiG's disengaged.
Most likely under orders from Khrushchev.
Is this his way of helping us?
Who knows? Maybe he didn't want things to get messier than they already are. Or maybe he just wanted us to owe him one. The important thing is, you made it out alive. As long as Khrushchev is with us, I don't think they'll be coming after you. It should be smooth sailing all the way to Alaska. I'm sending someone out to Galena Base to meet you.
To meet me?
The DCI and the President himself are waiting at Langley. Don't keep them waiting.
So what are you going to do now? Go back to the KGB?
What do you want me to do?
Did you ever think about coming back to America?
I can't go back. I've left America behind me.
But you saved this country.
I didn't do it alone.
And I still owe you a dinner.
Is that part of your mission too? Or is it an order? Or is it an invitation? Or a proposal? I don't take orders from anyone now.
Afraid
Scholars tell us that the first spy in history was the snake in the book of Genesis. In that story, it was Eve who was tempted by the snake in the Garden of Eden. But this time around, it was I who tempted the snake and got away with the forbidden fruit of knowledge. Forgive me, snake.
Good morning, Snake. I hope you slept well.
First of all, I have to apologize. I wasn't sent by Khrushchev. I'm not a KGB spy, and I never worked for the NSA.
I'm an agent of the People's Republic of China for the General HQ 2nd Department of the People's Liberation Army. It was all a lie. I tricked you. And I'm sorry.
The philosophers still exist in China, too. You see, my mission was to find out where Volgin was hiding the philosopher's legacy and steal it. So I infiltrated his base as a KGB spy. The 2 NSA codebreakers who defected in 1960 were actually both men. The real Adam never showed up at the meeting place, saving me the trouble of having to eliminate him. I sneaked in by pretending I was Eva. And you and Sokolov and Volgin, you all believed me. The philosopher's legacy was originally held in common between the US, Soviet Union, and China. We couldn't let the Russians and the Americans take it all for themselves. The Chinese government had its eye on the legacy, too. I got the film containing the legacy, and also the nuclear missile launch data from the Shagohod. 5 years ago, the Soviet Union stopped supplying us with nuclear weapons technology. Since then, China's Liaodong easing, hydrogen bomb, and space rocket projects have fallen behind. But with this data, our country will be able to develop its own nukes. We'll create a deterrent force to rival those of the US and Soviet Union. Everything has gone according to plan, thanks to your help. I, too, am one of the philosophers. I'm an agent of the philosophers, a graduate of one of their charm schools. I was raised in a joint US-Soviet-Chinese facility to become a sleeper agent. This was before the war. Back then, they were collecting children from all over the world. As a result, I'm indistinguishable from a native-born American. So it didn't surprise me when you and Volgin couldn't tell the difference. But she knew right from the beginning. She knew because before the war, she was at one of the philosopher's schools too, as an instructor. The boss was the only one I couldn't fool. She was the only one who knew I was a fake. She told me everything. Why did she open her heart to me like that? At the time, I couldn't understand it. But now, I think I do. Snake. She wanted you to know the truth. She chose me to tell you. That's why she saved my life. I've lied to you so many times, but not this time. My orders from the government were to obtain the legacy and to eliminate everyone who knew the truth about what happened. In other words, I'm supposed to kill you. do it. Not because we loved each other. And not because you saved my life. But because I made a promise to the boss. And I intend to keep it. I just wanted you to know. And you have to live. Snake, listen to me. She didn't betray the United States. No, far from it. She was a hero who died for her country. She carried out her mission knowing full well what was going to happen. Self-sacrifice. Because that was her duty.
You are above even the boss. I hereby award you the title of Big Boss. You are a true patriot.
In the army. Someone like him to handle our top secret sneaking missions for us. A man who combines the qualities of a soldier and an agent.
The boss's defection was a ruse set up by the US government. It was all a big drama staged by Washington so they could get their hands on the philosopher's legacy. And the boss was the star of the show. They planned it so that they could get the legacy that Colonel Volgin inherited and destroy the Shagohod at the same time. Only a legendary hero like the boss could have earned Volgin's trust. Finding out where the philosopher's legacy was hidden was to be her greatest mission. Everything was going according to plan. But then something happened that no one could have predicted. Colonel Volgin fired an American-made nuclear warhead at Sokolov's research facility. Khrushchev demanded that the US government provide proof that it wasn't involved. They couldn't just abort the operation to steal the legacy. So the operation itself was greatly expanded and revised. The authorities in Washington knew that in order to prove its innocence, they'd have to get rid of the boss, and that one of their own would have to do the job. The public couldn't be allowed to find out about it. Not ever. This, they concluded, would be the best way to keep the whole thing under wraps. The boss wouldn't be allowed to come back home alive, and she wouldn't be allowed to kill herself. Her life would be ended by her most beloved disciple. That was the way the government wanted it. That was the mission she was given, and she had no choice but to carry it out. Her death at your hands was a duty she had to fulfill. Out Out of duty, she turned her back on her own comrades. A lesser woman would have been crushed by such a burden. The taint of disgrace will follow her to her grave. Future generations will revile her. In America as a despicable traitor with no sense of honor. And in Russia as a monster who unleashed a nuclear catastrophe. She will go down in official history as a war criminal. And no one will ever understand her. That was her final mission. And like a true soldier, she saw it through to the end. But I think she wanted you, of all people, to know the truth. She wanted to live on in your memory. Not as a soldier, but as a woman. But she was forbidden to tell you herself. And that's why she told me. Snake, history will never know what she did. No one will ever learn the truth. Her story, her debriefing, will endure only in your heart. Everything she did for her country. She sacrificed her life and her honor for her native land. She was a real hero. She was a true patriot.
Son, you've got a way to fall. They'll tell you where to go, but they won't know. Son, you'd better take it all. They'll tell you what they know, but they won't show. Oh, I've got something in my throat. I need to be alone while I suffer. Son, you've got a way to kill. They're picking on you still, but they don't know. They'll tell you what is yours, but they take mine. Oh, I've got something in my throat. I need to be alone while I suffer. Oh, there's a hole inside my bones. I need to stay afloat for the summer, Lord. I've got something in my throat. I need to be alone while I suffer. There's a hole inside my bones. I need to stay afloat for the summer. Son, you better wait to fall. They'll tell you where to go, but they won't know.
Yes, Grozny Grad and the Granin Research Facility have both been wiped out without a trace. I understand, sir, but they were necessary sacrifices. Yes, the CIA has taken care of the boss themselves. I believe the White House will be satisfied. Khrushchev is finished. Your time has finally arrived. Yes, the American president is relying on us to keep a lid on the whole affair. We've got him by the balls. It should make a valuable trump card in future negotiations. Yes, Chief Director, of course. I'll keep the KGB informed. Yes, it's me. The boss has accomplished her mission. The philosopher's legacy is now safely with us, in America's hands. With this money, yes, the philosophers can finally be revived. The film we handed the Chinese was a fake. Peking must be in an uproar right about now. I'm afraid so. Only half the money has made it back to the United States. The KGB must still have part of the legacy. Yes, the weapon has been reduced to ashes. That's right. Grozny Grad has been obliterated by the Davy Crockett we brought in as well. Yes, that was the boss's work too. Speaking of which, I've obtained something from Granin that you might find interesting. It's a revolutionary new nuclear attack system. Perhaps it might just come in handy someday. Yes, we have Snake to thank for that. Khrushchev believed it as well. Yes, they bought our story. I don't think they'll be making a fuss. The secondary alert has been lifted as well. And the Soviets still haven't discovered my true identity. They have no idea that I've been triple-crossing them. I will continue my activities as a contact for the new government. Yes, it appears that no one knew that I was Adam. Of course, I'm always at the CIA's disposal, Mr. Director.